Welcome to Season Chasers. I'm Rob Freeman. Those that love nature and outdoor sports spend a lot of quality time looking for adventure throughout the year. The more you study, the more you learn about the peak seasons in nature. It's fun to know when it's best to go fishing or hunting, when it's time to pick blueberries, wild mushrooms, or native pecans. Sometimes the peak season is close to home, right in your own backyard, or it could be miles away near the mountains and the sea. Either way, this program will chase the seasons where the action is hot.
The season is spring. We're in the last half of May, and we're down at the river, and we're having some fun putting out lines. We've got several trot lines that we've set. We've tied up a bunch of hooks and put them on some long lines. Threw a variety of live bait at them last night. Some of these lines are set with goldfish, some with live crawdads, and some beef melt. So we let them soak all night long, and we're here right about at sunrise, and we're fixing to run this trot line. And from the looks of things, I think we got something on there. Before we got out of here last night, we caught a couple of small ones, but really be fun if we tied into something big. Stay tuned on Season Chasers. Thanks for coming along.
Season Chasers, sponsored by CP Communications.
Come see us at CP Communications, your locally owned and operated U.S. Cellular authorized agent in Pittsburgh, Parsons, Chanute, and Fort Scott. Locally owned for over 18 years.
Kansas Land Tire, your Goodyear dealer at 9th and Broadway in Pittsburgh. O'Malley Implement, home of the John Deere Gator, South 69 in Pittsburgh. And by Blue Ribbon Farm and Home.
And this is the Goofy Goat right here.
There are a number of ways to fish this river. This trot line is tied up to a tree up the bank on one side and to a sunken limb over on the other. A trot line is one heavy cord with hooks hanging down several feet apart. We're using John's 14-foot aluminum John boat, and with the slow current that we're having right now, we only have to use an electric trolling motor to get around. If this river were to get to rolling, we'd certainly need a gas outboard just to get around.
Let's get this party started.
Oh, they got something. Hooting and hollering downstream, that's a good sign, Jason. There's a channel cat, looks like. Not a bad way to spend a spring morning. We've got calm water, and we think the odds are good that we'll get into the catfish on this trip.
Circle hook did its job. Yeah, here's a bigger fish. Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Is that him or no? This is the drum.
Oh, it's a drum.
Is that bait still in the drum? One fillet. Up here for you. It's a drum. Come back. Alright. See what else we got here, John. Really nice goldfish. One fillet.
We use a real high-tech method to get the middle of this line down deep. It's a big red brick, and that should do just fine.
One fish.
On the other end, it's another rough one, and I think this one is a buffalo carp. In this area, most of the good limb-line limbs were already taken with somebody else's rigs. Jason brought along these PCV pipe poles that fit right into the clay bank. He had some giant size hooks on them. It would be real hard to straighten out by a great big one. More bait, and then it's on to the longer trot line.
Dead. Oh yeah, here's one here. We got a branch too that's kind of in the way. We caught on it. I'll try to pull that out of the way first so we can use it. This was the dead goldfish on this first hook. Get this manure out of the way. This end of it. Channel cat. Off the end of this stick, it'll make it a whole lot easier. Why don't you just come on aboard, buddy?
Live crawdads are one of my favorites. One hook through the tail is just about all you need.
See a fish there.
Oh yeah, there's a beach. Could be on. Well, maybe not.
Oh,
You're kind of mad there, Jason.
Sometimes that bite isn't exactly what we're after. We do our best to get them free, but this one really swallowed the hook. More trot lining on the river coming up next on Season
There's a
Chasers.
knife on this.
Extreme environments can cause a spontaneous change in DNA, resulting in unexpected power and agility. Introducing the all-new, all-powerful Gator RSX 850i. 62 horsepower, a fully independent multi-link suspension, and a top speed of 53 miles per hour. It's a whole new species of gator.
I'm Travis from Kansas Land Tire in Pittsburgh. We offer name brand tires like Goodyear, Dunlop, Kelly Springfield, Mastercraft, and virtually any tire for the job. We also staff ASE certified technicians to provide oil service, transmission and brake work, engine diagnostics, battery service, alignments, and more. We also now have a nationwide warranty and ask us about payment options like Goodyear Credit. Kansas Land Tire, 9th and Broadway in Pittsburgh, an authorized Goodyear dealer. See our ad and names and numbers.
Why switch phone service because of bad reception when you can adapt, like this family, with reception antlers?
Say goodbye to adapting to bad reception and hello to the highest network satisfaction of any national carrier. U.S. Cellular. Hello better.
Introducing the Samsung Galaxy S3 for only $199.99 at CP Communications.
Hi, I'm Chuck from CP Communications, the area's only locally owned and operated U.S. Cellular authorized agent, serving the local area for the past 18 years.
Closed captioning services on Season Chasers brought to you by Harris LP in Hepler, Kansas. Welcome to morning number 2 of Rob's lesson at trot lining on the Neosho River in Labette County in southeast Kansas. And I've been getting a pretty good lesson here from Jason and John. And they set the baits last night, and this morning we're going to run them. We're almost to the line here, and it looks like we got a little action. And it could be anything when you're fishing in a river like this, anything from catfish to drum to buffalo carp to
really gnarly turtles. So here we are. Let's see what we got. Something's fooling around here. Whoops. Got it. A couple empty hooks to start with. We got some activity here, Jason. Another empty hook. There's something really fooling around here. Go ahead and pull across. Try not to hook you. Oh, there's another nice channel. This is the best one yet. Shall we do a net one on this?
You sure can. I got it ready.
Now this is a landing net. And got a pretty good channel on here. We're not going to take any chances at this point of getting the net. Let's just go ahead and put the net on it. He's here. Oh yeah. Channel catfish. We'll get him inside the boat and we'll sort this out. Alright, here we go. Channel catfish. It's hard to say what else is on here. We'll get this one loose and keep you posted here on the river. Hey, it looks like we've got another catfish on here. That's an eater. He's in the boat. And we sure didn't leave much bait in the water. Watch that. All right, that's a nice channel. Let's see what we got going on. Oh, we got something here, Jason.
Good.
This is our short line.
Yeah, take it
Tied
easy
on
on
direct
that one.
here.
You might need the net on this one. Oh,
Got it. Another nice channel. The channel we're out last night. That's it. We're 100% clean here, except for these three guys. Not bad.
all the bait was gone and we had 3 fish. Huh?
Yeah. Very good. All right, so we've run our short line. It was all the way across the river. Now we got one that's set in a deep bend in the river. And at least we know the channel cat were out biting last night. And we brought in 3 nice ones. So we're going to go check the longer line and see if we got something else to show for all this bait these guys put on last night on Season Chasers. Thanks for coming along. I can smell them cooking, Jason. This was getting to be over 5 anyway. I don't know. These guys sure don't want to open their mouth for this. They just go the other way on the others.
Got his back down there.
Alrighty, well here's the long line. And I'm assured by Jason and John that this is completely baited up from last night. Now our other line had 3 nice fish on it and no bait. So last night must have been a good feeding night, at least downriver. Let's see how this one did. More hooks on this than the other. Let's go take a look. Get something on here. Feel something on here. Got a little beef melt left on there. That has the most staying power of everything we've used. Oh yeah. See, it's a bite ski. Another channel. Smaller, but eater. These are nice and tender.
Ooh.
It's in the boat. That one was on a crawdad. I'm quite sure of it. Get that under the boat.
I gotta say, I learned a lot of lessons on this trip. I found that running a river trot line is easier and much more enjoyable with a little bit of daylight around. Nightfall on the river brings out a big variety of flying bugs. Not only the ones that can bite, but harmless mayflies that have a way of getting in your eyes, nose, and your mouth. When you turn up a headlamp at night down here, the mayfly hatch can sometimes look like a blizzard. Any of those that touch the water are quickly gobbled up by hungry local fish.
Well, it's the second morning of my river fishing lesson. Jason and John have been teaching me how to trot line and limb line fish down here on the Neosho River in Labette County in southeast Kansas. And for 2 different nights we've baited up a whole lot of hooks. There's different kinds of catfish in this river, and we know that if you put a whole lot of hooks out, you got a chance of catching something really big. Now, so far we've caught several trophy-sized turtles. We've had a lot of bait stealers out here, and we've caught a few buffalo carp and maybe a drum or 2 here or there that we threw back. But some of our best success so far has been on the channel catfish. They don't get as big as the flatheads or the blues or the whites, but we feel like we've done pretty good so far on the channel catfish. There's going to be a little bit of cleaning work to do here, but we've got a pretty nice stringer going, and this is from 2 nights' work. No real giant ones on here yet, but these are some really good healthy catfish of the channel cat variety, and I can smell them cooking already. But we're going to go ahead and come back this evening and rebait these lines, and the best catching is overnight, of course. And we're going to have one more morning of running these lines and see if we can't get into something bigger. Having lots of fun down here on the river in southeast Kansas this morning on Season Chasers. Thanks for coming along. These have gone the way of those tied up hooks.
Oh.
Spring has arrived at Blue Ribbon Farm and Home. Now's the time to prepare your garden for the spring weather ahead. Blue Ribbon has hundreds of varieties of top quality garden seed, so you can get started. Whether you have a lap dog, a sport dog, chickens, or a goofy goat, Blue Ribbon Farm and Home has all the feeds you'll ever need.
You talking about a goofy goat, and this is the goofy goat right here.
Why switch phone service because of bad reception when you can adapt, like this family, with reception antlers?
Say goodbye to adapting to bad reception and hello to the highest network satisfaction of any national carrier. U.S. Cellular. Hello better.
Introducing the Samsung Galaxy S3 for only $199.99 at CP Communications.
Hi, I'm Chuck from CP Communications, the area's only locally owned and operated U.S. Cellular authorized agent, serving the local area for the past 18 years.
And if you're wanting to go hunting, there's no shortage of upland game birds out here at Pawnee Wildlife Preserve. We're open with the extended season through March, so give us a call at the number on your screen if you'd like to bring out your own dogs or fully guided hunts available. Pawnee Wildlife Preserve, Fort Scott, Kansas.
Hey.
Sometime when you're down on the river, you get some help when you're doing a little fish cleaning. And we got Pat here today. And it's okay because we're dog people. Alright. Now, got all the meat off of here real well. Go ahead and throw this back in the river. It goes back into the food chain. And we'll trim these fillets out. What do you think of that, Pat? You're not much of a retriever, are you? But he's waiting till I get these all trimmed up before he makes his move, I'm sure. But got lots of help today on Season Chasers. Hey, buddy. What are you doing? You doing all right? You doing all right? Good boy.
I also learned it's a good idea to double check how the boat is tied before leaving here. Now, this proves that I know how to do this, but somehow Jason and I got away that day with the anchor in the wrong place, inside the boat. Now, it's a good thing they're honest neighbors downstream. The nice fellow that found John's boat made several phone calls before getting a hold of the landowner who had given us permission to fish here. It'd be easy to worry that an angler had gotten hurt and fallen out of that boat, but our host explained that it was just us guys down here trying to do a TV show. Thanks again for returning John's boat, and I'm glad it was Jason and not me that was there when John was told what had actually happened.
At this point of getting the meat, let's just go ahead and put that on it. He's here. Oh yeah. Channel catfish.
River fishing in Kansas is a lot different than the river trips I guide up in Alaska during the summer. We also learned that Kansas critters liked some of our bait. We figured out it was probably a raccoon that got into one of our bait buckets one night and ate up all the crawdads. It's time to make some plans if you want to do some spring turkey hunting in Kansas this year, or some summer salmon fishing up in Alaska. Right now, I have openings in April and the month of August. If you'd like to share today's show, go to Facebook and search Season Chasers with Rob Freeman. There are links to this show and other video clips for free. I'd like to invite you to be our friend on Facebook, and you can subscribe to the YouTube channel for free. On YouTube, we've had 27,000 plus views and counting some more. In the last 30 days, my outdoor videos were watched from people in all 50 states and 71 foreign countries. They play real well on your home computers, plus mobile tablets and smartphones. Now here's a clip from the YouTube channel. If you ask me, watching white-tailed deer is fun to do all season long. Now, this video was taken during early November during the Kansas whitetail rut. You can see this buck was pretty close to the road, and when he ran off, he didn't run too far, just enough to get himself secluded there into the woods. And here's why he was hanging around. This doe was probably only 20 feet from where I stopped the truck. This is right at the edge of the road, and she's just inside the fence. And from what I figure, there's been a lot of chasing going on here, and she's pretty tired, so she's just going to drift away. And remember old Mr. Buck, who we got to see a few minutes ago? Well, he didn't run off very far, and he decides he's going to pop back out of the woods. And this is how they got to be that big. This one's in full rut, and he's following the footsteps where the doe goes. And even a buck this big seems to disappear behind this skinny brush. He turns his head and moves those antlers. There's no question what's behind that skinny tree. I just sit and watch all this from the truck. He steps right out in the road
not looking both ways. Scenes from the Kansas deer rut in early November here on Season Chasers. Another YouTube clip features something I saw on my first day back from Alaska at the end of August this year. There hadn't been any dogs in my yard for several months, and the neighbors said they'd been seeing a couple of whitetail does with 2 fawns. And as I looked out the front porch window, these 2 fawns were taking a good look at that concrete statue in the yard. I couldn't quite figure out what was going on with that broken antler and how it didn't move. Well, as it turned out, one of the does was outside the fence, the other was just inside. You can't see it here, but just off camera were 2 large does that were walking through here also. And this one little guy just kind of got caught in the corner of the fence. Part of growing up and being a white-tailed deer is figuring out how to avoid these fences. And this wasn't like a barbed wire fence that you could just crawl under. But he figured his way out. And you're welcome to share these with your friends anytime here on the YouTube channel. Today we'll finish up with one of the clips on there, an Alaska fox with a bit of a sweet tooth. Thanks for watching.
8 out of 10 Alaska foxes surveyed prefer Kraft Jet Puff marshmallows. Go for it. Come on in. Don't get greedy on me. Kraft Jet Puff marshmallows, preferred by most Alaska foxes. Tune in each week for some of the stuff you just won't see on other shows. Outdoors, wildlife, and a life of adventure. Being on the lookout for natural foods and making the most of what the wildlife provides. Study, learn, and share the great outdoors with someone who's important to you.